but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine own eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. See? So it begins with us. But one will say, well, why can't you turn your friends or your family to follow you? Because the Lord, it's not up to me. I can show them, I can present them to what their distraction or their falling shorts may be, but it's up to the Most High to help them to really acknowledge that and to change that. All we can do is present it. Now, is there some cases where they do and they come in? Yeah, because the Most High allowed that to happen, which would be considered a miracle. Because this thing is not easy. This is a hard thing to be understood. Not everybody can understand this thing, man. Not everybody can accept it. Not everybody can see it. You see? But it begins with us. It begins with each individual brother. And each individual brother that claims Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, because that right there is dangerous in itself too. You calling on the name, you're claiming it. It's just like in the world, you try to claim a gang, you try to claim something, you know, and if you're not affiliated with them in that way, what's going to happen? You're going to be approached, you're going to be dealt with. You know? It's the same thing with the name of coming into this truth, man. Each individual brother has to maintain himself, acknowledge himself, acknowledge the thing that he's done. You know, what goes into repentance, contrite, broken spirit, you know, having a remorseful heart and changing, man. You know? Then you're able to be wholly set in these things, to be able to continue in these things. And these things are talking about the word, the scriptures, the breakdowns. Not trying to maintain the world or trying to maintain your own world, your own life. Matthew 7:6, give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. That's right. Because there's a lot of dogs, man, a lot of crabs and lobsters out here that don't deserve this truth. They're not going to receive this truth. The Lord ain't dealing with them. But it all begins with us, man. And when it begins with you, that means you get to a certain point where you have to come out to the highways and the byways. Point blank, period. You know? This is Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. This is reasonable. It's not hard. This is a good thing, man. It feels good to come out and be able to speak and out, you know, out here in this concrete jungle. You know what I'm saying? But it feels good when you're able to go out to the wilderness and both can relax. This has a relaxing element to being out here preaching it this way, man. You know? And sometimes it's kind of harsh. You got the sun being hot, the sun, or it's real cold. You know, you got some brothers that they're straight up snow and ice, man, freezing out there, wherever the states the brothers are in that have that kind of weather, man. You know, but guess what? They have a certain endurance for that type of element, but at the same time, they have a sense of peace. They have a sense of enjoyment doing this thing, man. It feels good. It's a refreshing, man. Romans 12:2, and be not conformed to this world. Right? Don't be conformed to this world. Don't go back into the world. Don't go back into the old mindset of you being once a lazy nigga. You know? And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove that you may prove what is that good. Brothers shouldn't always be having to be telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing. You should be able to seek it out of the scriptures, discerning the time, discerning, the situations that are going on, especially in this time, what you should and shouldn't be doing, or when you should do it. You know, brothers, we watch each other, so we see each other. So you see other brothers going out, that's an indicator that, hey, well, shit, I could go out. And of course, you're gonna have to know your what's going on within your city, but more or less, it's all the same, man. Except for what I believe, like in California and New York, that's where it was really heavily restricted, man. Because we know that everything starts in the east and the west coast, and it comes into the Midwest. It's always been that way. Everything starts from out there, then it comes in. It works itself in. You know, what I'm saying is that we watch brothers, we watch videos, we're still seeing brothers put up videos. Hey, shit. What do I got to worry about? I'm gonna go out to the highways and the byways. Esau approaches you. What is Esau gonna do? Hey, you gotta go inside. All right, cool. Is he gonna do it every single week? No, he ain't gonna mess with you every single week. It says that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. We know that this is the will of the Most High right here, what we do on the highways and the byways, on the hedges, speaking. But also it's like, okay, you know, should I continue to go back out? You know? Or are you worried about the coronavirus? Are you worried about contracting something? Are you worried about Esau? Or is it really you're afraid? Or are you just really afraid? Or you're just really not wanting to do the work? You're just tired of doing the work. You gotta continue in this thing, man. Don't get all butt hurt. You know what I'm saying? Don't get butt hurt. Like the brothers used to say, man up, Jacob. Because Jake gets butt hurt all the time, man. This is Philippians chapter 1, verse 27. Only let your conversation be as it becometh the gospel of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. So we have to let our conduct appear as the ways of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. That whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs. See, back then they would have to hear by way of letters and parchments. Now we can see each other, or we can call each other. Hey, what's going on? But back then they had to wait and receive a letter, or you know, by word of mouth. Hey, this is what's going on over here. Now it's more easier. It's made easier to where we can witness. Oh, this brother ain't putting no videos in his channel, or you know, or he ain't doing the work. He ain't gone out. He don't go out. You know. It says that ye stand fast in one spirit, with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel. That's what we're all doing. We're one body in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. Seeing eye to eye, mouth to mouth, speaking, meaning that we're conversing with one another. We're speaking the same thing, the same doctrine. We're involved in the ministry. Okay, because the whole body, our whole physical body, every part of the body is working. Every part of the body is meaningful. Some people say, "Oh, take out your tonsils, take out your appendix or there's not your appendix, but they say the appendix is meaningless and shit like that. But everything the Most High designed in our body has a purpose. Your lymphatic system helps drive out toxins and diseases, helps destroy them. It shoots out a certain type of I don't know the word, I forget the word, like substance, and it helps destroy toxins and things of that nature. Helps them drive them out. Your lymphatic system, your tonsils are part of the lymphatic system. Okay, your lymph nodes, your appendix. Okay, and those are all different filters. Your liver is as a filter. But it's crazy how the lymphatic system is so important, man. It reminds me of like little small valves, like not valves, but like a little water system. You got all your big plumbing, but then you got these small pipes, right? With check valves, and you got pressure readers and stuff like that. And you have certain areas where it'll shoot out a certain chemical to keep the water from freezing up. They put like what does it call it? What do they call it? Menthol. I believe it's I forgot the word. Menthol, I believe it is. But anyways, and they'll keep the liquid from freezing. They're under cold times. So our lymphatic system is like the same thing, man. Except for it helps fight off diseases, toxins, it flushes out, it creates new, I believe it's white cells. It does a lot of things, man. And when your tonsils swell up, it's because it's fighting something. It gives you an indicator that something's going on within your body. But some people think it's not useful, but it is. Our pinkies, our big toe, pinky toe, to lose one of these limbs is a huge change, man. And we don't realize it until it's gone. But you always got to maintain yourself in this work, man. You always got to do your best, not just the bare minimum. Or not even doing the bare minimum. It says in verse or Philippians 1:28, and in nothing terrified by your adversary. So don't be terrified of your adversary. Don't be terrified of these people. Don't be terrified of coming out in the cold or the sun or being seen by people. Don't be terrified by none of that. Which is to them an evident token of perdition, but to you of salvation, and that of the Most High. Why is it unto us a salvation? Because we're doing the work. We believe, we have faith. We know that there's a reward in this thing at the end of the day. We know that we have to glorify Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh. We have to prophesy. We have to preach openly of our Savior before the face of the heathen, before the face of our own people. To be seen of people, to be seen of people on the internet. The whole world's gonna know this thing, man. The whole world's gonna know you. The scriptures say that we're gonna be known, well known, and unknown and well or known. This is 1 Corinthians 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8. Now you are full, now you are rich. You have reigned as kings without us, and I would to the Most High you did reign, that we also might reign with you. For I think that the Most High has set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death. For we were made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. We are fools for Yahweh's sake, but ye are wise in Yahweh Mashiach. We are weak, but ye are strong. We are honorable, but we are despised. Even unto this present hour we both hunger, thirst, and are naked and buffeted, and have no certain dwelling place, and labor working with our own hands. See, and labor working with our own hands, man. But yet being made a spectacle, not being terrified of the adversary. But to them it's perdition, but to us it's salvation. Because the Lord didn't give us a spirit of fear, nor to be ashamed of the testimony of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. It says, and labor, working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless, being persecuted, we suffer it, being defamed, we entreat it, we are made as the filth of the world, and are the offscouring of all things unto this day. I write not these things to shame you, but as my beloved sons, I warn you. For though you have 10,000 instructors in Yahushua Mashiach, yet have you not many fathers. For in Yahushua Mashiach I have begotten you through the gospel. See? By hearing the word of the Most High, man. That's how you're reborn again. Okay? There's nothing to be ashamed of. But that's the reason why we come out to the highways and the byways, man. We preach, we warn, we admonish, we rebuke, we exhort, prophesy. You know? Lord willing, we're part of the elect, man. Lord willing, I'm part of that number. And I continue in this thing as well, man. Taking it day by day, you know. Fighting, man. Always got to be a fighter. You got to fight. You got to fight, man. This truth, coming into this truth, is going to show you who you really are. The scriptures tell you that. It's going to show you of stubble, wood, you know, stones, precious stones, gold or silver, man. But it's going to be revealed by fire. That fire represents suffering, tribulations, persecutions, being faced with things being faced with things that consist of this truth. You know, suffering for it, man. So I'm gonna leave it with that. Hope it was edifying to you, brothers. Y'all brothers out there, stay strong. Keep pushing this truth. All right, keep doing the work for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, ushering the way of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua for His return. Okay, making known His word. His word is well known, is being spread out everywhere, man. No matter what these people say, what these whack-ass celebrities say, these people that are highly regarded or looked upon as renowned men, we know that this truth is being revealed at a high level, and people are knowing and they're hearing about it. It's our job to continue doing that work and drawing out the elect from amongst those people. You can have people that are claiming it, but they're not really about it. They're not part of the elect. They're not part of that number. They're just somebody that's claiming it, you know. And you're gonna try them to whether they be apostles or men of the Lord. By how? By rebuke, correction, or even just basically having to come out to the highways and the byways, and that's that. So with that, shalom.